And we are ready to begin, everybody. Hello, my name is Nicholas Ashbaugh, and I thought it would be really great to just show up a little bit in advance of the weekly collective, kind of do a reader's choice, and tap into some topics that I'm drawn to look at, some things that don't always get chosen when we do the weekly collective. I know you guys love to see Apollo. He's just sleeping in the background, holding space as always. This reading is for everybody that showed up today, and it's a bonus reading. So we're going to look at extra things. I think what I would like to do when I was walking Apollo earlier, I was called to look at love. But we're going to start with like loving and healing ourselves, right? I may take some of these topics and even pull them into the weekend collective, but today in particular, I want to look at the heart space. I think this is the first and most important thing that I can tune into because I know that there's just a lot of room for healing on the planet at the moment for any number of reasons, whether it's personal, global, or what's going on in your city, state, country, or province. Let's just kind of tune into you in this moment. You're the most important piece. I've selected a deck here that I want to use, so if you would please, just close your eyes. Let's call in angels, spirit guides, ascended masters, and of course your highest self. And let's see what you need to see to heal the heart in this moment in time. That is where all energy around love begins, including your external relationships. So let's take a look. Past, present, and future is what I'm called to look at here. Yeah. Okay. So let's just zoom in so we can see this even easier. Four of Swords in the deep past. I feel like many of you have been working kind of at a breakneck speed. And I talked about that in a recent reading as well. If we don't allow ourselves time to recalibrate, that's why I took a couple days off. Usually the first week of the month, I just need to take it easy because I work a lot. As you guys know, 50 plus videos per month. And I need like a break at the beginning of the month in order to get back into the pace of it all. So follow my lead. Take a break if you need to. And if there are diminishing returns, I talk about the Four of Swords. If you don't center into your own being, into your own energy, there comes a point where you're just spinning wheels and sometimes creating more work for yourself. So if I think back to when I was a student in particular, I remember sometimes working and burning the midnight oil. And I would wake up in the morning because my undergraduate was in journalism and writing. And I would think, who wrote this? Because there are missing words, there are typos. It's a mess. It's going to take me longer to go through and proofread it and fix it than if I just woke up early and, started with a clear mind. So in any type of work, we don't always get that. Obviously, if you're a parent, the work never stops, right? I get it. But like when you're working on other projects and endeavors, it's really important to recalibrate. And so one thing that the heart needs right now is a little bit of time to just not be pulled in too many directions. So one thing that you might be able to control is like extracurricular activities, meetings, gatherings, and things that aren't necessarily part of your must-do list, right? So if anything can slide a little bit, and if you're watching this Friday night or Saturday morning, because I know this is different time zones, or Saturday afternoon for some parts of the world, just take it easy today. If you look at my daily card read for tomorrow, it is the High Priestess. So you can make tomorrow or today, if you're watching me, again, in Europe and India and Australia, New Zealand, and other parts of the world, you can make today whatever you want it to be. And I thought that was a really powerful message. And it's also really important right now because sometimes people just feel disenfranchised, disempowered because, if that's a word, basically they feel like they're not able to do something that they want to do. And I just like to remind you, each and every day is a reset. If today you didn't get done what you wanted to, tomorrow's a new day. And even if there are only so many things that you can do to control the world outside of you, but you can control your own world, the people that you touch, the things that you're focusing on, and that's really the call to action. It begins with rest, though. Rest and recalibration, absolutely. In the present position, we have a recalibrating card, the Five of Cups, mourning, mourning, letting go of something, and looking at the two cups that are upright. friendship, opportunity, partnership, camaraderie, the ability to work with others to fix or kind of mop up the mess here that's in front. And there's always a bridge in the Five of Cups. So there is a way to get to the other side. There is a way to cross this, even if it feels heavy. So if you just experienced a setback, a loss, a disappointment, if you're too hard on yourself and you were trying to accomplish something and you're just not seeing the progress that you want, rest, recalibrate, release. One thing that a lot of spiritual practitioners do is try to kind of like just put, rainbows and unicorns around everything. I think it's important to figure out what's triggering the emotional reaction, address it, and then focus on the gratitude. But you have to address it first. So I'm acknowledging and normalizing that some of you are just feeling heavier emotions. But in the future here, we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse state. And the answer to this sort of puzzle that we have in front of us is to ask. Ask for help, lean on others. This is typically a provider card. You can even see that here. We have a partnership. We see more than enough. And some of you may be used to just being self-sufficient, right? Things working exactly the way that you want them to. It's okay this weekend in particular to say, I need some help, or I'm feeling tired, or can you just state intentions, desires, and lean on those who so often you have been the one to kind of like hold up and assist, okay? One thing that's cautionary with the King of Pentacles in reverse is don't overindulge. So sometimes when things aren't working the way that we want, you're just like, well, I'm just going to, you may go into eating too much, drinking too much, sleeping too much, everything in moderation, I think is the best way to sum that up. So suffice it to say, I think this is a week where a lot of us are recalibrating, but you can do this. That's basically what I'm seeing here. Let me just change the exposure here because it's nighttime, so we might need a little bit more. Let's see. There we go. It's easier. All right. So the heart needs to be healed. You need some rest, and it's okay not to love everything at the moment, but by leaning on others and giving yourself the ability to get support, you'll be all right. All right. Let's take these back now. And I'd like to focus on what's going on around you. This can be, actually, I want to start off, we'll kind of look at this in three categories here. I think this is important. Let's look at relationships right now. I don't get to read relationships that much on the channel, but I wanted to look at that because it is our support system. So this is a time where it actually makes a lot of sense to look at relationships. So I want to see what's going on in current relationships, and then we'll see if some of you are ready to call in relationships as well. But this can be anybody in your life. So look at your core relationship, your partner, your child, whoever it is you think most about and love the most. Let's put it that way. So in present relationships, the presenting issue, if we just actually look at the center card, is feeling like you're on the outside looking in or the other person isn't speaking to you. It's interesting because if we look at this card, this is like a sine wave here on the sword. Like when you do a voice memo or something, all those little shapes and everything on that, that's a sine wave. And so this is basically articulating what's in here or in here. That's the most important thing you can do right here, right now. When I look at the deep past, there may be something that someone said, and it's a little sharp because we have the Page of Swords in reverse. So it could have been that you're sitting with a comment like that hurt my feelings, or you cut me short, or you're not listening, or I don't think you understand. Maybe they don't know that you feel that way. And if both of you, if they're feeling like, why am I getting the silent treatment? And you're like, well, you should think about it. It's an impasse. We've all been there in one way, shape, or form, and we have to get past that impasse and open up the lines of communication. What I do see is doing the work. It's okay. Three of Pentacles is a very good card. Actually, it's a card of mastery. So whatever challenge is in front of you or behind you in this case, it feels like you've already got the tools to fix it if you want to. It's just a matter of if both partners are willing to do the work and put in the work, okay? And that's the main thing that I get with this. And it begins with articulating hopes, fears, frustrations, and desires. Communication is lacking a bit, but it's something that can be solved. And sometimes you have to be the bigger person or you have to be the one that initiates. the conversation. So that's what I'm getting with current relationships. And again, it can be anybody that you love the most. So you don't even have to be partnered up. It could just be the core relationship in your life. Shifting this now to thinking to yourself, like, am I ready to pull in a relationship, or am I ready to connect with others? Let's take a look and see, and then I'll see who might be coming in. So for those that are ready to open up for friendship or love or partnership, interestingly enough, we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and it's basically saying, slow down. It's interesting that we have a lynx on here, which is a really fast cat, but it's saying slow down, take a step back, ground yourself. Are you ready? Yes, but you might be moving a little bit too quickly into something. Show me who might be in the periphery. Yeah, there is a person that's coming through, but they're coming through with a karmic lesson. So we have the Ten of Swords in a beautiful illustration here, and it's showing instruction, but when you pull in a partner, you don't necessarily want to pull in a teacher, you want to pull in a partner. And so right now, the type of energy that you're pulling in is a karmic lesson. Let's see what the karmic lesson is. What are you being instructed upon? Balance and discernment. So this is basically knowing when to say when and not overextending yourself. And there could be someone that is coming into your life that wants more than you can give, or can't give you what you want. There's an inequity right now with respect to readiness and give and take. So if you can just take a step back and really find the centering in your life, so that when you are meeting that person, you have good boundaries, you aren't seeking a missing piece with them, and you're just really seeing things on the level, I think you'll be okay. What kind of energy, earth, air, water, fire, etc., or whatever spirit wants to show me, will you pull in once you do the work? Okay, so we have cups coming through here. Queen of Cups reversed, don't force it. So we have salmon here, which typically spawns upstream, but the card is reversed here, so it does feel like it is a time to really focus on the healing that we talked about, not to put all... I've had whether it's a first date or an interview, sometimes you overshare. And I think one of the important things here is to do more listening, to slow down, and not force the connection if it's not there. But we see a wonderful water sign that wants to come through, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. So yes, you can connect with that, but there is definitely some work to be done. Right now, it's an instructional relationship, and it's trying to teach you the value of give and take, balance, etc., and creating boundaries in your life. And I feel like I've been talking about that for the better part of this week, how to create better boundaries. So it's coming up here also in this little mini collective that I'm doing. For everybody else, what's the message around... We looked at love, we looked at relationships. What should you be focusing on in this moment? Again, this is very much reader's choice and what Spirit's kind of guiding me to look at. So I'm going to use one of my newer decks here, the Curious Travels one. I like this one. What is it that you should be focusing on at this moment in time? I'm reading comments. Someone's like, so tired of lessons, pass. Yeah, usually when something like that comes through, it means that it is time to just focus on you. All right, to that end, what should you be focusing on? Let's take a look. I love this deck. I love the sort of foil on it too. Pretty good stuff, folks. Like if we take a step back from okay, so in this moment in time, many of us have heavy emotions, right? I've been picking up on that. There's been world events going on that have had a sort of an effect on that. But if we pull back from focusing on things that we can't control, if we stop focusing so much on the relationships around us and just what else is presenting itself, it's good. So Empress, Ten of Pentacles, and the Star. Right now, you're really being encouraged to lean on your own power, strength, and integrity, and to lead by example. Empress energy is all of that. She's also developing and cooking up something new, just like if your mom was making something when you came home from school. I'm looking at her holding this pomegranate, and it's sort of like, what is it that you're cooking up in your life next? This is the important thing. What's the next chapter going to look like? the previous chapter where the cups were spilled, and I don't know which deck I was looking at here. Here it is. So we're acknowledging that that happened. Five of Cups has happened. Something didn't go the way you wanted. You're stronger, you're smarter, and now it's time. I love that she's got stars in her eyes, right? Not necessarily in a bad way. It's more sort of like she's got the Queen of Pentacles, sort of those stars, the Ten of Pentacles, or the star in her eyes. She's really looking to the possibilities. And I want you to keep that sort of elevated viewpoint and think, what am I going to cook up next? What am I going to develop next? And then get to work, folks. Ten of Pentacles is good. It's a card where you don't have to work alone. We see a family of elephants on this card. Typically, this is a card that would show elders, youth, lovers, people like classmates, workers, co-workers. It's all of these resources in your life. And once you know what you want, then you can start to either call in the synchronicity like it finds you, or you can seek it out yourself. And lead with intelligence and think big. So we have the stars in this card right there in her eyes, and then we have a large and intelligent animal, and one that in like Ganesha, it symbolizes overcoming obstacles. Power in numbers, that's what this can be, community. But it isn't just like the Ten of Cups, community, friends, and family. This is like we're going to work together. So this is a time to really rally the forces, rally your connections, build something wonderful, and really reap the rewards of that in the form of the star. After the Tower comes the star. Tower is the hard part. The Tower sometimes makes you think that it's done, it's over, I've lost whatever. In that moment, oftentimes you are left with the most important pieces. And then you know what matters. Then you know who matters. Who is still in your life to be with you after that sort of symbolic destruction of one moment in your life. That's when things get really exciting. That's why you have to go through that in order to connect with the star. So I feel like many of us are just on the precipice of that exciting chapter, but we're still focusing on what happened again in that Five of Cups moment where it just feels like it's a lot, right? That is why in this moment in time, especially, it's important to focus on recalibrating. I mentioned with High Priestess energy for tomorrow, meditation, sleep, rest, self-care, because when you are slowing down a little bit, you're tuning in. And when you're tuning in, you're connected and you're powerful. So it's really advantageous right now for people that want to put the energy into productive endeavors. That's really what I'm seeing in this moment in time. So now is a really, really important time for you to connect with that, okay? And these are beautiful cards, really. Power in your own, like finding your inner power, finding the group around you that lifts you up, and then together creating the star. It's all stars here. I mean, pentacles are stars. She has the stars in her eye, and then we have the star. I used to say something to my mom, and you know this if you watch my channel, but it's always like, remember to look up. Look up from your phone, look up from your life, look at the stars at night, look at the positive side, the silver lining. There's always something that we can come away from an experience with and think, okay, I've got this. Take a couple days. Take a couple weeks, whatever it takes to get to that energy of recalibration, and that's going to help you out. Okay, let me just check on our time here. I don't know. We'll go for a little bit more until I feel, oh, here it is, 22 minutes. Okay, good. I want to keep this around half an hour, so let me see what else we can do. I think the one thing that would help everybody right now is how to overcome an obstacle in your life. Let me go to a different deck. Mystical Moments is a fun one. I'm choosing all my favorites. And we got the obstacle coming right out. How appropriate. Ten of Swords. So for many of us, there is this feeling of pain. But let me just look at past, present, future. We already got a feeling for it. It is reversed, meaning that it's starting to ease. It's starting to heal. Okay. So we're going to start with this one here. The Ten of Swords can sometimes be, it's cognitive, emotional, mental. And because of that, not everybody is feeling Ten of Swords in the same way. because we all process energy or information or action in a different way. Some of you that are tuning in are feeling it a little bit heavier. The cool thing with this particular Ten of Swords is it shows that when you're willing and able to change, kind of like we saw again, we're going to keep going back to this, the Five of Cups. When you can look around, there are places where there are light. This is one of them. I'll continue to show up as we go through challenges in life here. But like there are communities, there are people, there are places that you can go where it's going to feel safe and it's going to feel okay. And so that's the Two of Cups. That's where you should be leaning. And then it's also about taking things and kind of turning them inside out. So one of the things that I talk about a lot is taking fear of failure, which is sometimes what the Ten of Swords is. And just thinking, well, what if I learn from this? What if it's not going to be that difficult? What if I'm ready to turn this around? And just kind of, what if, why not? And then make it a positive. I am, I will, etc. All right, deep past. It's basically just like enough is enough, and that's why I was called tonight to look at the heart. Not necessarily in your lover's coming in. I'm like, let's go a little deeper and look at what's going on in the heart, what's going on in relationships, and are you even ready to call in someone? I'll look at love in my own way on this channel, but it's a little deeper with respect to that. We got to check ourselves here. So for some of you, it's just really, really important to find a way to channel, release, and heal. Each of you are going to have a different way that you want to do that, but I'm just normalizing that and putting it out there that's the most important thing. Creative endeavors are perfect. Dancing, writing, artistic sort of things, yes. Therapy works. Whatever you can do to kind of like get it out. I keep feeling like you need to talk it out a little bit, and that will help as well. Two of Swords keeps making an appearance. So here's our Two of Swords where it feels like some of you might need to just get outside a little bit. It's interesting that there's a birdhouse and this person's on the inside. It's almost like hermiting energy. And I like also that we have two birds on top that are talking. Ask questions. One of the best things that you can do in the Two of Swords is ask, like, how did you work through this? Or what do you think about this? Or I don't understand. So for some of you, there's just an important need right now to get the clarity that's necessary. This will help you get past the obstacle in front of you. And sometimes we just don't know what the next step should be. So once you slow down long enough and just identify the next step, everything else starts to pick up. It's not as hard as it feels or seems. The Ten of Swords hurts, but it is often in this case, it's more of a intellectual, mental sort of thing. And so once you just start to create action, then you start to feel better. And once more, we are having cards of empowerment coming forth. So I saw the High Priestess for tomorrow, for Saturday, and now we have the Magician coming through in this real-time reading. And we see, it's almost like the Magician's cap here, right? Anything is possible, but some of you are feeling your mental state is something like this. It's over. I can't. It's not working. It's not worth it. It's that kind of negative trajectory, which is okay because of that first card, but it can't be a persistent state. So whatever you need to do in order to find inspiration, hope, or support, that will help empower the Magician so you can get back to creating, so you can start to work your magic. Because you still have it, it's still possible. It's just a little more work than you might have thought it was, right? Okay? Okay. I'd like to just kind of look at a couple of oracle cards and see if there's anything else that we need to focus on, that Spirit wants me to focus on in this very brief reading. And then I think we'll wrap it up. I just wanted to check in and say hi to all of you. And tomorrow I'm going to get started on the Aries reading, and I'll either publish it tomorrow or Sunday afternoon. I usually need a little time from recording it to get it out there, but I'm starting the next set of readings, so thank you for your patience. Okay. Let's take a look and see what Spirit wants us to focus on that we haven't already. Yes. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. So, and it may be one of the topics for this weekend, change, right? Tower energy. Let's see if Spirit has any advice on that in this moment in time. So we'll do past, present, future on upheaval as well. Oh, it's so funny when we keep getting the same card. I feel like Two of Swords is the theme of the evening or the morning, depending on when you're watching this. We'll talk about it. Okay, so upheaval, being changed. This is very much tower energy for sure, but it can also be world energy. It can also be fool because change happens in multiple ways, or Six of Swords. But here's what's interesting about this. Five of Wands indicates a lot of work. Two of Swords indicates a change that you may not have had a choice in, and now it's sort of like acceptance of the moment, right? So let's talk about like how this can hit in different ways. In a very positive way, upheaval can be you get an email out of nowhere and someone wants to hire you or they're interested in you and they want to ask you out or something. It can be an extension of interest. And that change, that one sort of, it's like someone's reaching out and pulling you into a new trajectory. It pulls you up, but it pulls you out, and it kind of like uproots you from where you're at. So it can be positive. It can be the birth of a child, the release of a project, moving in, moving out, moving up, all positive stuff. But it puts you into the element of the unknown, right? Some of you could also be in this when you lose a job or when something that you were very much invested in didn't work out, and it's like, I have to go back to the drawing board. Judgment is a very, very heartening and very positive card to look at upheaval because it is the card of renewal, rebirth, reinvention, and it's also basically like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Literally, we see people coming out of their coffins, rising up. Whatever you thought was the end was a beginning or a pivot point to help you kind of align to something else. It's the shock to the system that you needed to make the necessary change. And you will survive, like that, was it Gloria Gaynor? Like that disco song, you will survive. It doesn't feel like it in the moment, but you will. And you'll come through stronger and different. You're not going to be the same. So the upheaval was necessary for change. After the tower comes the star, like we saw in this deck. So this upheaval is bringing this, but it requires acceptance and imagining something different. Something different than what you thought, something different than what you wanted. Different can be good, folks. Growth is a necessary piece of the soul's path on this planet. Okay, let's trust the crows. They're giving us good stuff. Let's see if there's one more thing before I do like a final card that you all need to focus on tonight. Okay. This connects also to what we were seeing here when I mentioned the community element of this. So we have finding the strength within, then we have finding strength in numbers, and that kind of connects you to the star. And that's this. This is both of the 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles cards would constitute community in different ways. Cups is more connected to joyous friendships, family, just things that really make your heart skip a beat. Pentacles is where the work gets done. This is the networking to help you move through a challenge, through the upheaval. So I think you need to go to both of the 10s, and it's appropriate that this is a 10. 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. We got the 10 of Swords earlier today, so we had to go through that recalibrating energy of this. So we have all the 10s. What's left? 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is graduation, completion, whatever you set your mind to right now. That's the only 10 that didn't come through. That's the next step for many of you, right? Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, like there's good stuff in front of you. I feel like we've been through the most challenging pieces, and this is the sort of key. This is the missing piece. I want to keep this short. Because we're going to do a reading this weekend. I got to save some energy. I have some stuff to do tomorrow. I just wanted to show up and say, I care about you guys. I'm here. And I figured we could all use a reading today, right? It's been a week. Share this with someone that you think might benefit from it as well. Okay, let's wrap it up today using this deck that I like here, the Curious Travels, with a final question that you might be dealing with. I'll go deeper than a card because this is a special reading. So I'm gonna look at your special question, your final card from 3 perspectives, past, present, and future. Okay. So whatever you asked, here's the first card in the past. Pages are the necessary piece to take that ace or that 10 to the next level. Aces are ideas. Pages really will articulate that. They're usually carrying the ace with them and saying, I have an idea. I have this thought. What do you think? So one of the most important things you can do in this moment in time is communicate what's up here and what's in here, in relationships, in business, in personal development. If it was a yes or no, this is already a yes. We're like, yes, but what are you doing to carry it forward? For some of you, that may be a missing piece. You can't necessarily do this all on your own. So we have an Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And oftentimes this is trying to get external support. Maybe it's an investment in the idea. Maybe it's maybe there's something that someone's going to fill a piece that's missing if you're working on a project or something. It can be education, personal development. You're deciding to invest in yourself. There's a missing piece that's going to be necessary first to bring it to the next level. So ask for help or focus on building that within you. And then take that ace and again, bring it into fruition, into motion. The one thing that's holding you back right now is fear or anxiety. And also you really want to lean in, do I trust? Do I trust myself? Do I trust this person? Trust is an essential piece into bringing this next level. And sticking to the path in front of you. Not comparing yourself to other people, not competing, not sort of like worrying about the little stuff too much, really just focusing on taking that path and moving it forward. So we have an idea, it's a yes. We have a need to kind of build something up within or get some external support, and then just to stay focused and really choose people that you trust to help you on this path. Overall, it's a yes. But there's some missing movement or activity, and it's time to get to work. And that's really what I'm seeing for that. Okay? That's everything for today. Let's take a couple of moments just to say thanks. Thanks to everybody that showed up. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. I'm also going to see if we had anybody that gave back with a super sticker or super chat. I want to say in advance thank you for that, but let me just see if we did that. And I'll put a little thanks on the screen while I'm looking at this. So let's go to new members or anybody that was gifted one, and then we'll go to super stickers and super chat. Okay, so I think there's just one today, LB. So LB, thank you for joining or rejoining. I appreciate you. Let's quickly look at super stickers and super chat and see what's going on here. Thank you to the following folks for giving back for this impromptu. Color Me Happy, Jackie, and Aphrodite Goddess. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Let me see if anybody celebrated a sort of anniversary or anything here. So let's go to fan funding. And Shelby, you gifted a membership tonight. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. I think that's it. I think I hit on everything. I hope you enjoyed this. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, by the way, please do that. I did also give a quick shout out on my social media, just in case people happen to be on. So you can follow me on all the major social media platforms at Nicholas Ashbaugh. Remember that I do not offer private readings. A great way to give back is the way that everybody did here that just got recognized: super stickers, super chat, and memberships. And that's everything, folks. Apollo's over there, so we'll let him be. I just want to wish you all the best. Remind you that I do daily, weekly, and monthly videos. I'll be here Sunday at around 9:15 a.m. Pacific, and I'll think about some topics for this weekend that might be good, and you get to vote on them tomorrow. So until I see you again, wishing you all the best. Take care of yourselves. Take it easy on the weekend. You deserve it. All right. See you soon. Bye-bye.